The journey to the mysterious town. It all started with a rumor. Someone in our university alluded to a forgotten town hidden in the northern woods, a place that people rarely spoke about. At first, none of us paid much attention. We were busy with exams, deadlines, and the usual chaos of student life. But as days went on, more stories began to surface. Some people claimed they had passed on strange warnings about the town. Others reckoned with frightening tales of travelers who had come in for bad luck after going there. There were 4 of us in the group: Ryan, who always loved to fiddle with gadgets; Chloe, who tended to fawn over every new mystery; Lily, who tried not to pussyfoot around when it came to decisions; and me, Noah, who often had to keep tabs on everyone so we didn't lose track of our plans. One evening, while we sat in the library trying to swat up on history notes, Ryan suddenly brought it up again. "You know that town," he said, fiddling with his pen. "I think we should scout out the truth. Too many people rave about it. I can't just let it go." Chloe immediately started to fawn over the idea. "Oh, that would be so exciting. Imagine the secrets we'll uncover. I've always wanted to lick a mystery into shape." Lily, however, didn't want to dwell on it too much. "Don't get carried away. We barely get by on our student budget. A road trip like this isn't simple." But then she, too, catoned onto the sense of adventure. "Still," she added, "maybe we can chip in and make it happen. If each of us allots some money to the trip, we can manage." The idea slowly started to take form. We didn't want to bungle into it blindly. We had to press for details, to follow up on rumors, to make sure we were not losing sight of reality. Yet, the more we investigated, the more the mystery deepened. Every source seemed to contradict the other. Some people raved about the beauty of the place, while others warned us to reckon with terrible danger. During the following week, we began to scout out information online. Most of the articles had been taken down, or perhaps someone didn't want outsiders to know. Whenever we thought we had found useful data, the sites jammed up or the pages ran on with nonsense. Ryan, of course, kept fiddling with his laptop late into the night, trying to hack away at strange codes left on forums. He wouldn't let on what he had discovered at first, but eventually he passed on some encrypted messages. They alluded to a time when the town had been prosperous, but then impinged on by a curse. Chloe couldn't stop raving about it. "This is exactly what we need. We'll make history. People will follow up on our story for years." Meanwhile, Lily kept pressing for practical matters. "We can't pussyfoot around. We need to allot money to gas, food, and gear. Otherwise, we'll lose track of necessities." So we chipped in. Each of us gave what we could. We didn't have much, but we managed to get by on what we collected. I kept tabs on the budget and tried to lick our plan into shape. We decided not to lose sight of safety, though deep down, we all knew we were reckless. Setting off. The morning of our journey was chilly. We piled into Ryan's old car. It was always on the edge of breaking down, but somehow it managed to get by on small fixes. As we left the city, Chloe couldn't help but dwell on every possible danger. What if we come in for trouble? What if the stories are true? Lily sighed. "Stop dwelling on the negatives. We've already swat up on enough information. Now we just need to scout out the truth ourselves." The road stretched endlessly, running on through empty fields and quiet forests. Sometimes we lost track of time, singing along to the radio or arguing about the best route. I made sure we didn't lose sight of our destination, checking the map every hour. At one point, the traffic jammed up badly. We had to hack away at boredom by playing word games. Ryan fiddled with the car's radio, trying to get a signal, but all we got was static. Chloe catoned onto something strange, though, when the car faced north, faint whispers seemed to impinge on the noise. It was as if the static wanted to allude to something hidden. We all fell silent, not daring to let on how unsettled we felt. By late afternoon, hunger made us stop at a small diner. The place was nearly empty. An old man sat in the corner, not losing sight of us as we entered. He seemed to reckon with our presence, almost as if he had been waiting. When Ryan tried to strike up a conversation, the man let on nothing. He just muttered, "Many have gone in for curiosity. Few have returned to pass on the tale." We all froze. Lily pressed for more information. "What do you mean? What happened to them?" The man just shook his head. "Best not to dwell on it. You should reckon with your choices before you scout out that place. Curiosity jams up reason. Don't bungle into something you can't handle." He refused to say more. As we left the diner, Chloe couldn't help but rave about the encounter. "This is proof. People really know something. He was warning us." Ryan, however, didn't lose sight of the mission. "We can't pussyfoot around. We've already chipped in, already swat up on the rumors. Now it's time to follow up on them." Nightfall. Driving through the darkening woods, we lost track of time again. The road seemed to run on forever, twisting and turning as if deliberately trying to confuse us. Trees impinged on the path, their branches hacking away at the edges of the road. I tried to keep tabs on our direction, but the compass jammed up, spinning endlessly. We fiddled with it, banged it, but nothing helped. Lily pressed for us to stop and rest, but Ryan was determined to push on. Suddenly, headlights appeared behind us. A black car followed closely, not losing sight of us. We tried not to let on our fear, but the tension was heavy. Then, just as suddenly, the car turned off another road, vanishing into the woods. Chloe was almost trembling. Why would anyone follow us out here? Did they cotton on to where we're going? No one answered. We all knew this was no ordinary trip anymore. The first glimpse. At midnight, we finally reached a hill. From the top, we could see faint lights in the valley. The mysterious town. It looked small, almost bungle-like, as if it had been carelessly dropped into the landscape. Yet something about it made our hearts race. Ryan raved about the view, unable to contain his excitement. We made it. Now we just need to scout it out properly tomorrow. Lily, however, couldn't stop dwelling on the warnings. What if this is a mistake? What if the curse alluded to in the messages is real? I tried to lick our courage into shape. Let's not lose sight of why we came here. We pressed for answers. We chipped in everything. We can't back down now. That night, as we camped outside the valley, none of us could get much sleep. The woods seemed to pounce on every sound we made. The wind impinged on our tents, and strange whispers ran on through the darkness. We knew the adventure had only just begun.